Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster members, and esteemed guests. Ding! Said the oven, as it formally announced what the sent messages has been screaming for the past 4 hours. Thanksgiving turkey is ready! Ready to be carved, ready to be slathered with cranberry sauce, ready to be devoured and indulged with by impatient souls as its juices slowly coat our bellies with pure turkey bliss. Or whatever you had last Monday for dinner. But when I'm coming to think of it, what I see Thanksgiving really as Turkey Day. Similar to I see Halloween as funny costumes and candies day, or Christmas as credit card maxing day. But I tried searching around, and according to my very reliable sources, mostly Wikipedia, I saw there that Thanksgiving as we know today is a result of a proclamation by Parliament last January 31st, 1957, where they proclaimed there should be a day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest that Canada has been blessed with, to be observed every second Monday of October. Or so Wikipedia said. So what we are getting there is, it's about harvest, and it's on second Monday of October. Which kind of makes sense because I'm aware that people have been celebrating harvest for as long as people start to learn how to plant crops. It also makes sense because, especially during then, no harvest, no food, no money, no nothing. So they really have a good reason to celebrate harvest. Let's hear a few samples. I saw that in Britain, they celebrate Harvest Festival, which occurs the Sunday near the harvest moon, which is the full moon near the autumn equinox, right? Which is September 21st. In Korea, they celebrate their Chuseok, which occurs every 15th day of the 8th month of the lunar calendar. And during then, they go to their hometowns and pay respect to their ancestors. Jews celebrate Sukkot, which they celebrate every 15th day of the Tishrei month, which occurs around September or October. And during then, they have prayers and holiday meals. So you see the similarities in these places, including Canada. Around this time, September to October, they celebrate harvest festivals because on these places, north of the equator, these places experience harvest. This is when crops mature. And to have another perspective, south of the equator, say for example in Argentina, they celebrate their Fiesta Nacional de la Vendimia, which is a harvest festival. And there they have festivals and dance parades and fireworks. And it's a very fun couple of days where they celebrate. So that's how people around the world celebrate harvest and Thanksgiving for the bountiful harvests. Let's go back to Canada. After Confederation, the first Thanksgiving Day in Canada is not really about harvest. It's for the recovery of the Prince of Wales back then from a serious illness, and it happened April 15, 1872. Quite far from September to October, right? And from then, Canada celebrates Thanksgiving days whenever there are events of national significance, like end of wars, or coronations, or end of disease outbreaks. And it happened like that. Like, there are certain years where there are more than one Thanksgiving days. Like, for example, in 1902, there was 2. And there are also years where there are no Thanksgiving days, like from 1873 to 1878. And it happened like that until around 1921, which is shortly after World War I, when they fixed Thanksgiving Day to coincide with Armistice Day through the Armistice Day Act. And they fixed Thanksgiving Day to be every Monday where November 11 falls. So if that week has November 11 in it, you will celebrate Thanksgiving Day on the Monday of that. And it happened until 1931 when Armistice Day was renamed as Remembrance Day. Now, from 1931 up to 1956, they are celebrating, Parliament is proclaiming Thanksgiving Day every year until 1957, when the date has finally been fixed as we know it today. So that's Thanksgiving. It's about harvest. And here in Canada, we celebrate every October, second Monday of October. Now, what about turkey? I wanted to find a really nice story or a grand story where I can say, this is why we're eating turkey every Thanksgiving. Apparently there's none. And yes, there's none. And it just came about. But I tried searching around, and I like State Magazine's explanation. It's a matter of practicality, really. Now, or even then, turkey is relatively cheap, it's readily available, and it's large enough to feed a family with a lot of leftovers to spare. And practicality dictates that if you have those conditions, eventually it creates into families' centerpiece meals during celebrations. And that's why we're eating turkey. Plus, turkey is really useless alive, unlike cows where we can churn out milk, or chickens where we can lay eggs. Turkeys are useless. And for the turkey gravy stuffing combo, I think we can thank Miss Scratches for that, with her steamy hot gravy and the endless theme of stuffing, as she stabbed into the bright turkey that Ebenezer Scrooge gave her, which, as we know, came from the 1843 novel A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So that's the short history of Thanksgiving and turkey. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and may have a blessed year ahead. Madam Toastmaster.